This is Settlers of Catan, but I have to place my first settlement on a coast. In this Catan challenge I also need to build my first city on the coast. Watch till the end because 2 players get really close to winning. Okay, so I have to place my first settlement on the coast. I'm going second, and there are a lot of good spots for our first player who is playing as purple. So that could be 5, 9, 10. You want to get some good ore. You want to get solid wheat on this board as well, which makes the 8, 4, 3 a really interesting spot. 6, 3, 4 is also good. I don't think you should go with 5, 9, 10 or 6, 5, 11 because the sheep doesn't hold as much value on this board. I like 6, 4, 3. I think it's a good setup. I would have gone 5, 9, 10. So I need to build my first settlement on this coast, and this is really challenging because production is, in my opinion, the most important thing you can have in the game of Settlers of Catan. And instead of something like a 5, 9, 10, I'll have to go with either the 8, 4, the 8, 10, the 5, 10, the 9, 10 at the top. Or the 6, 2 maybe. So yeah, I'm hovering over the 5, 10. That way I can block out 5, 9, 10 for other players, and also because I can place my second settlement on a free hex spot, I was looking at a 6, 4, 3 as the potential good settlement spot, and also maybe 5, 9, 10 because I could get on the sheep board, but that's a little bit tricky. So third position goes 8, 10, 3. Like both players made a mistake that they point inwards. Like it's very unlikely the 4, 9, 11 or the 9, 3, 11 is left open. So why would you point inwards? I guess you can. It makes sense for purple as he can go 8, 3 or 4, 11. So you will have some options. I really like green setup. Green has the 5, 9, 10 and the sheep board by building on a 5, 9, 2. So that's pretty solid. This was a surprise to me. I expected him to go 6, 4, 11. And now I can go 6, 4, 3. I could either point towards the 8, 4 or the 6, 11, 12, but I expect purple to go 6, 11, 12 because he doesn't gain wood or sheep, although the wood is quite low, but the 8, 4 doesn't really do that much for them. But no, I get plowed here by purple building on an 8, 4, and we roll 8 first, so there's extra wheat in the game. Purple starts with 3 wheat, now 4 wheat, and red also has 2 wheat, 2 brick, and a sheep. And I like wood, so there's no wood in the game, but now there is, and I have a road in my hand. And green contests me for the sheep board. I am quite sure that I won't be able to win this race as he has very solid production, has the wheat in hand already. I'm trying to get wheat and ore, as ore is very useful on this board and very useful in my position. So he's either trying to get wood or brick. Purple doesn't generate wood, so that's why I'm trying to do this. And I know that the other players, only red has 1 wood in hand and green just spent his wood. So they're not very likely to trade. So I roll a 7, so what am I trying to get? Either wood, brick, or ore. I think I'm going to steal from green, not because I'm racing him, but because he is in a very strong position. I don't think the positions of red and purple are that strong. And my next goal, because I don't have many other options, I go to the 6, 11, 12. The weakness of my setup isn't necessarily that it's not efficient, like I get all 5 resources in a very nice clip, but I don't have much production. Like 5, 10 is just 8 points of production, 6, 4, 3 is 10 points of production, and that's the lowest of all players. So, or maybe, yeah, I think it's the lowest of all. So that's going to be a challenge for me. There's a lot of wheat in the game still because the 8 has been rolling early, and Elsamir, by also rolling 2 6s so far, has gotten the city and gotten the early lead. By rolling 5, I was able to get a development card, and Year of Plenty is really good for me because I could either get a city with it, or I could go road settlement to the 6, 11, 12, or maybe I can create another option. Wheat for wood. I don't have any wood, so I was actually creating pretty solid offers, but nobody takes it. And now that option could be available, but now red has the wood as well. So I thought if he wants wood, but no, he doesn't want it, and he is somehow agitated by my offer. So there's sheep in the game for red. So I'm not really worried about red. Like, he first needs to build 2 roads to go to the 6-2. And then he still has a weird balance within this resource game. He will be able to take road. I don't think there's anyone who can test him for that, but that's why I'm going for largest army. I also don't think I'll have much contest for army, although green could contest me for it if he gets on the sheep board fast. There's a 4, so there's more brick in the game, and we see 2 roads by red. Yeah, so a 9. So there's another brick. I believe red needs the wood to settle here. So green is trying to get wheat. I could offer here, but my wheat is blocked as well. So trying to get 2 ore for wheat, I feel like that's a solid deal. Let's see if he takes it. Especially with the Year of Plenty, I'm confident that I won't have a problem with getting this wheat back. So we have a 5, so if I use the Year of Plenty now, I could get a city. But we here see a wood, purple is trying to get wood here to get the road. She doesn't produce any wood, so I think like there's a lot of wheat in the game. She has a lot of wheat in hand, so let's try for 2 wheat, but that doesn't work out. I could have maybe done it for 1 wheat as well, but I knew my turn was coming after that, and I wanted to give it a try. I could always Year of Plenty, so red accepts my offer. I'd rather do it with red than with purple, so I'm going to city up. I have to city up the 5-10. 6 for 3 would have been a lot better, but the 10-5 is fine as well. So now I get a little bit more production. I do get to place on the ore, so I knew with this challenge I wanted to place my coastal spot on a good ore spot, because if I have to city that up as well, then I want to be able to get a little bit more ore or a rare resource. And I think with nobody placing on the 8 wood, wood is a pretty rare resource on this board, because it's completely dependent on the 10 rolling. So we see a block on the 5. I think this makes sense, though I'm not necessarily in the strongest position. I think green is, but it's okay. Get blocked here. So 4 rolls, I pick up wheat, there's break in the game. I try to offer my sheep, just seeing what I can get. Green only has 1 card, so it's very unlikely to trade here. So we see the 5, and green got blocked by this, and because of this block or something like that, he decided to leave the game, unfortunately. So we continue with 3 players and an AI after a few turns. So I'm trying to get 2 brick here. I know that purple needs the wood, and she doesn't produce any. She holds a lot of cards in her hand, so she wants to get something done. She could still 4 for 1 her wheat, I believe. Okay, so she can city instead. So now I have a few interesting options, and I rolled a 7 first, so I put it on the 6 because I think purple is in the strongest position now with 2 cities. And now I get the Year of Plenty, and I decide... Okay, so first I'm trying to get the wood, but purple recognizes that they shouldn't give it to me, and she also doesn't have it. So I take a wood, and or I first get the development card to see what it is, because I wanted to get the development card regardless, and then I plow purple on the 411. The reason why I did this is 1, to hurt an opponent, and the second reason is because now I still have a road settlement to the 6, 11, 12. If I didn't do that, then purple would build on the 411 and I would have 1 less settlement spot. Like, it's very difficult for me to get a good 4th settlement spot. So that's why I created 1. Although it's less production, but I think or wheat or good cards to get here. So a 7 by purple. So this is likely going on a 5 or yes. And I agree with the steal on me. Stole wheat, so I was happy with that because she already has a lot of wheat and no sheep production, so less likely she'll be able to contest me for the largest army. Red, on the other hand, is trying to connect his roads. He's willing to give 2 wheat for a wood, and this is completely insane because it's not that important to connect road if nobody is contesting you for it. Like, spend your resources on something more useful, do 3 for 1 for ore, for example. Just keep the wheat. So 7 roll by the AI, or by... Yeah, okay, so this was the last turn. Green was actually in the game. 7 roll, a little bit of wood. So I don't know what challenge Purple was playing when she placed on the H4, but maybe it was just to hurt me. Maybe he knows that I'm a YouTuber. That's a possibility. It happens, but so I'm trying to offer wheat here. He's willing to give brick, but actually looks for wood for red. I'm willing to do that deal, but it doesn't really necessarily help me. The free is a little bit rarer than brick is. Yeah, the brick is rarer than wood is for me. I would also be helping an opponent, but I think overall trading is a good thing to do because you gain, well, you benefit and an opponent benefit, but there are still 2 other opponents who don't benefit. So that's why I typically want to do that. It's very important to keep track of the hands of your opponents and not overextend there, but like you don't want your opponent to benefit too much, like they gain a city and you build a road. You don't want that, but try to make fair deals, then it will help. So I don't have the wood. I would like to get the ore. I decide to not offer. Okay, so now I generate some wood and purple doesn't, so I'm going to try this offer again, enable to get a city. I could still get the development card. This was a really tough decision for me, because city on the stick for free is nice because I have low production, but also a development card could mean a knight and me getting ahead in the army race. I decided to city up. I don't know if it's correct. Let me know in the comments if you think it's okay to city or to development card there. So red is going to put the robber on me on 4 wheat. I would have put it on a 5 wood. The 5 ore. Because it hurt me a little bit more. Although, I don't know, I have 2 ore spots, so maybe the 4 wheat is correct. So now I'm trying to... I stole a brick, so if I can get a wheat here, I can do a road settlement. So, it doesn't offer wheat yet. See if he brings up another, so red is thinking about it. He offered a wood already. Actually offers 2 wood, so this is interesting. I'm willing to take this because I just get another extra card I can use, maybe 4 for 1 if it 10 rolls. So I get another option. So the 8 rolls, there's some wheat in the game. Maybe I could also now do like a 2 for 1 trade with one of my opponents to get wheat. So she's trying to get brick, I'm willing to offer wood. Elsmere doesn't bite, and there's no trade going down. And it's my turn. And I 7 out again. So I have to get rid of 4 wood, and you'll see this happen a couple of times this game, but I knew that I could get a 67% chance to steal a wheat from Ellesmere, so I wasn't too disappointed with this. And I can build a settlement on the 6, 11, 12. I think going to 6, 5, 12 would also have been possible, but I think doubling up on the 11 does the trick as well. Like, I have really solid sheep production with the 6 sheep. So block again on the 4 wheat. Consistency. During the game, I disagreed with this move. Now I'm seeing it, and I think it's the right move I read. But red spent a lot of cards going for road. It's now on 8 roads, and nobody is even close to it. But he does have the settlement spot. But you'd rather have some more production, so you can invest in the roads later. So first get some production going, then get your points going. That's usually what I try to do. So settlement for red by after a trade with green and a road as well. Another 8 roll. The 8 has rolled a crazy amount of times this game, which is unfortunate for me because I'm not on it, but on the flip side, the 10 rolled is a lot as well, so I was able to profit from that. 2 roads by purple, creating a settlement spot on 511. And the 12 rolled. So now I'm offering wood to see what I can get here. Red is interested. Like, Red and I have been trading a lot this game, and so he would be willing to get 4. So I'm trying to see if I can get a good deal here. Maybe Red comes up with something again. Maybe something different. I believe he doesn't have any sheep, but okay, so wheat and brick for ore I accept. Because I can get 2 rows. I think the wheat is valuable with the 4 block. And it doesn't help red that much, and also not really scared of red. So I could trade an ore here, but I don't need the wood, so I would have done it for sheep, I suppose, but I knew that red didn't have any. I know that green has picked up some now. I prefer to not trade with the AI in a game like this. So ore for brick, no. So I don't want to get rid of my ore. Ore is generally the most valuable resource in my opinion. Also, like, ore and wheat are, in my opinion, more valuable than the other cards. Although it can differ per board, because like on some boards you barely gain any sheep, and then sheep becomes really valuable. And it has to do with a lot of things. So I 7 out again, and I get rid of 4 wood again. Green does the same. So if I can get a sheep, it's worth it. I steal from red to spread the love a little bit and not solo block. Purple, I believe purple didn't have a sheep. So it didn't matter that much. I just wanted to get the 6 ore blocked because I want to stop them from getting more cities, especially red from getting cities. That if the road player gets cities, they become dangerous. Like, there's no way. Like, these 6 points are for real because nobody is going to take them away from red. During the game, you can see a 4, so I pick up my wheat. What is purple trying to do? Purple is trying to get a settlement, needs the wood for that, and 3 for 1s. Okay, so actually, wow, road settlement on the 6, 5, 11. That's a huge spot, especially with that 3 for 1. I 7 again, but this time I had 7 cards, steal a wheat. I stole from purple because purple has a lot of points. I'm much more scared of purple than I am of red, so that's the reasoning there, not necessarily that I'm trying to get a card. I think at some point in the game you just gotta recognize who can beat you and who can win the game, and not necessarily go for cards all the time. I prefer to go for cards at the start. I 4 for 1 here to get under 8, and because I think I could get trades for wheat, to get wheat in trades, but I actually rolled a 4, so 4 got rolled, and that's fine as well. So there's a 9. Take the brick. There's a sheep offer. Could get a brick, but no. So if I could get a sheep, then I can get development cards. That was the idea a little bit. Like, army is still up for the grabs, so that's a nice feature here. And also I could use sheep for a settlement on the 11, but I think a development card is more important right now. There are a lot of options, and I think everything besides road building helps a lot. Knights are also nice because I have a lot of, like, I gain most of my resources on the same spot, so I'm very blockable, and this 6 is a huge roll as I get 3 development cards, 2 of which are victory points and 1 of which is a knight. So the victory points, like, I thought about this. I'd rather get 3 knights here instead of 2 victory points and knights, because it basically does the same, but the knights protect me as well. But this is great as well, as I go to 9 points, and with the settlement spot open, with city spots open, I can win the game still. So I don't need to make any trades right here, and they shouldn't as well. Like, I'm winning the game, so they shouldn't trade with me. So purple gets a development card. Hoping for... What are you hoping for? Maybe you can contest for road, or mono is always nice, of course. So I'm blocking the ore. And stealing a brick from... I didn't need to use my knight, but... For some reason I did. I thought if I can get a wheat, then I win the game. If I can get a sheep, there was a 67% chance to get sheep. She didn't have wheat. But if I could get a sheep, then I can get another development card, which is either VP, Year of Plenty, or Honor, or, well, yeah, road building doesn't help, but all the others do. So that was my thought here. I don't want a fourth one ore because that is so invaluable and I couldn't get something done with it. Like I said, ore is the most important resource in my opinion. So I don't want that. I want to keep my ore. Okay, so 2 roads by purple. I don't have anything in hand right now. And it gets rolled. Still with the same card, so. And there's a lot of ore. So I pick up 2. And green picks up 3. Picks up 2 wheat as well. Gets 1 development card. See if green gets another. Green is proposing trades, but I block trades. Because they shouldn't trade with me. I don't want to win like that. Got 2 sheep for wheat, gets to 8 cards. Trade offers again. I don't know what they are. Nobody exacts them. And green was a 4-for-1. And there's the mono, and that's a serious amount of ore. 3 from... I believe it's 9 in total she got. So that's a city on a 6-5-11. So she needs 3 more points to win it. If she connects her roads, she goes to 9. That's not enough to take the longest road. But that could be a serious option here. Oh wow. Actually gets the trade and the settlement and the city. So that's 9 points. Holy cow. So 5 rolled, but I don't have any way to get another victory point, so I have to pass here. So let's see what red is trying to do. Maybe he connects roads, or no, extends his longest road, because then he could potentially still lose that. Purple's way to win is either city or a development card, victory point, or road settlement, but that's a little tough. We get a trade here. Again, I didn't have the win in hand, so I felt comfortable trading. Purple settles out. It gets the victory, gets the development card, but I kind of knew that wasn't going to be a victory point considering I had so many, and I can 4-1 for the wood and win. GG. If you have another challenge for me, please let me know. So don't forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.